Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I have been trying to make this video all week and it hasn't worked out. To be 100% honest with you, I have not been in a good space at all this week, and I'm actually happy that I'm filming today and not a couple of days ago, because I feel as though if I filmed this back then, the video would have taken a completely different turn, and I'm happy to say I'm in a much better place at this moment than I have been earlier in the week. The reason I'm feeling like this is because we had to say goodbye to my mum on Sunday. Hopefully I can get through this without crying. I thought I was doing better today, but obviously not. We had to say goodbye to my mum. She was staying with us for 9 weeks here in Germany, and now she's back in New Zealand. I don't know why it felt so much worse saying goodbye to her this time round, because I've had to say goodbye to her so many times, but this time I can honestly say it felt like a mini death. And I know that sounds really dramatic, and I know what it's like to lose somebody. I lost my dad from leukemia, and I know what it feels like to grieve for somebody. And so I say a mini death because obviously it's not as dramatic as a death, but it was absolutely heart-wrenching saying goodbye to mum for many reasons. I've been trying to work out why this goodbye felt so much worse than other times, because it's always terrible saying goodbye. It is gut-wrenching. Maybe it's because this time round mum formed such a close bond with my kids, especially my youngest son Luca. He's 4, and now he's at the age where he can communicate so much better, he can understand so much more, and he was just so drawn to my mum. He was like her little shadow. He followed her everywhere. He copied everything she said. She just poured so much love and time and energy into Luca and my other children, but I think she saw more of Luca because he's my little one. I didn't realize how much my kids were missing out by not having my mum in their lives every day. When you're an expat parent, you learn to be really independent, and you learn to kind of compensate for your children not having their family around, their extended family. And sometimes it can be really hard, because no matter how hard you try to provide your children with that love and that attention, you just cannot replace their grandma or their aunties and uncles. I didn't plan for this video to be like this, because I was actually feeling really strong before I started filming. I had a really, really difficult few days where I cried a lot, and I've kind of pulled myself together. I got my kids all ready for school this morning, and I took my son to kindergarten. We're testing out this new cargo bike, which is really cool, and I took it for a spin, and I went for a long bike ride, cleared my head, and I was feeling really good. And I thought, I'm going to sit down and film a video. I'm going to be positive. I was feeling really strong until I sat down and I started talking about my mum, and I've kind of lost the plot again. So please forgive me. This video is going to be all over the place, but I'm just going to be speaking from my heart. I'm not very good at pretending. I'm not a very good actress. The saying, the show must go on. I'm terrible at that. And so it's either not make a video at all or make an open, heartfelt video like this. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not going to pretend I'm feeling happy when I'm not. I'm not going to pretend that being an expat in Germany, raising my kids in Germany, is always amazing. And because I love my life, but there are times that being an expat is really I was going to say something I shouldn't say online. Really bloody hard. I have to say, I am so grateful for the time that I did get to spend with Mum, the 9 weeks she was with us. I can't even tell you how amazing it was. I made a conscious effort to be in the moment and just really just soak up everything. And every single day, we just talked nonstop about every subject under the sun. We just spent that really quality time together, and we just made up for lost time all of those days that we couldn't be together. And my husband, Rob, loved having Mum there. And people would often say to him, how can you handle having your mother-in-law stay for 9 weeks? And he was just like, I have an amazing mother-in-law. She's so considerate. She's so loving and selfless. She doesn't think about herself. All she wanted to do was to make my life a little bit easier. Just help me in the way that she can't when she's in New Zealand. I wanted to make sure Mum had an amazing time because she is the best mum in the world, and she deserves at this stage of her life, like, she has given her whole life to her kids, to her family, and she just doesn't do anything for herself. And I just wanted to make sure, I don't know, she was looked after. I don't know, I just wanted to make sure she had an amazing time. And when somebody's in your house living with you for 9 weeks, they see everything, you know, the ups, the downs. I've got 3 children, all in different stages, and it was just, I don't know, it was like everything was just so transparent. Mum just saw everything. And that feeling of being loved unconditionally, I don't have to pretend I'm somebody that I'm not. Mum just gets me. She just loves her grandkids so much and would do anything for them. She'd do anything for me. And I'm just not used to having somebody around like that. I mean, I've got my amazing husband, but I've missed my mum a lot. I'm probably not making much sense. I'm just speaking from my heart right now. Whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. For me, it was just mostly seeing how much love and time and energy she poured into my children, and just seeing them thrive. Like, she came at a time where things were a little bit out of balance in my household. My husband and I were just in a place where we were feeling a bit overwhelmed with life, just like work and kids and, you know, just the pressures of life. And Mum just came in like an angel, and she just rescued us. She helped me, you know, set some better routines for my kids, like with bedtime and limiting screen time, and helped us, you know, with the cooking, with the cleaning, just with everything. And I wanted Mum to, you know, come for a holiday, but she kept saying to me, all I want to do is be with you in your daily life and just experience what life is like from day to day with my grandchildren. I can't even tell you how amazing it was to have that extra help, to have Mum there to, you know, help entertain the kids. You know, I may have been cooking and she was playing with Luca, or, you know, vice versa. And just having, you know, my husband works full time, so he's not home a lot of the time, and just having that company as well. And when Mum was gone, it just felt so quiet, just not having Mum to discuss my every thought with. 9 weeks just flew by so quickly. It was unbelievable. And she was there during the summer holidays, the school holidays. My husband had to work during the school holidays, but Mum was there to help out with the kids. It was amazing. We went for bike rides. We just, you know, we went swimming. We went to the river. We went to the Czech Republic, Karlovy Vary. We did lots of sightseeing. We spent time with my in-laws, my husband's parents and sister. My mum can't even speak with Rob's parents because they can't really speak English. My mum can't speak German. And my husband's sister is deaf, 100% deaf. You'd think that would be such a huge barrier, but it kind of wasn't, because they could feel Mum's warmth and vice versa. And my mum and my in-laws just get on so well without being able to speak each other's languages. You know, they laugh, they use a lot of humor, you know, they give each other hugs. They use their hands and feet to explain things, and obviously I'm there and Rob's there and the kids to explain everything that they need explaining, but they do a really good job of just kind of chatting with each other somehow. And same with my sister-in-law who's deaf. I can communicate with her really well. She is great with lip reading, and I've learned a little bit of German Sign Language, and we have a really great way of communicating. And so I translate for mum when they're talking to each other. It just works really well, and it just goes to show what a beautiful person my mum is, because she just embraces this whole crazy situation and she thinks of it as, you know, a big adventure, and she loves it. And so yeah, we had so much fun and we laughed so much. Oh my goodness, we laughed so much every single day. It was just amazing. We cried a lot, but we definitely laughed a lot. Also, my kids' English improved so much. And I thought their English was pretty good before mum came, but having mum every day in our home speaking Kiwi English with my kids, and the kids hearing conversations, Kiwi English conversations, it's just amazing how much they improved, and you know, their vocabulary improved so much, and it was just amazing. Just seeing their progress during the time mum was there. When the 9 weeks was coming to an end, the kids kept saying, "Grandma, please don't go. It's gone too fast. Can you stay for longer?" And mum actually looked into extending her time just 1 more week. It turned out to be so expensive and it just wasn't worth it. So she didn't stay any longer. And we had to say goodbye to her on Sunday. The kids just cried and cried and cried, and so did I, and so did Rob. We never see Rob cry. He is a tall 6'2" man who is usually pretty composed with his emotions, and he lost the plot when he had to say goodbye to mum. It was terrible, and I am so pleased that that part of it is over. The goodbyes are over. Everything is reminding us of mum. Everywhere we look, there'll be things that she's arranged. I'll go into the fridge and there's still food left over from a meal that we've had, and just little things that she's just moved and, you know, organized. And she left her robe, like her dressing gown, for me, and I've been wearing that, and we just miss her so much. And I know it's not realistic for her to live with us and, you know, for us to see her 24/7, but we just wish that she lived closer, and we know that it's not possible. I've been forced to face some really difficult emotions recently about my life and my life decisions, and I did question whether we had actually made a mistake moving to Germany and not moving to New Zealand. For a while there, I thought, oh my God, what have I done? How can I do this to my kids? How can I deprive my kids of their grandmother who just adores them so much, and vice versa? And honestly, it just made me feel sick to my stomach. These thoughts are just thoughts that I have not had to deal with for a long time. I've kind of pushed them aside, and they were really, really hard emotions and hard things to face for me. I was feeling very, very lost for a couple of days there. And I mean, if I had filmed this video maybe Monday, the first day, full day without my mum, I probably would have said, yeah, I think I've made a mistake. Like, why are we in Germany? But now I've sort of cleared my head and I've realized, no, we haven't made a mistake. The reason why we're so upset about mum, you know, going back to New Zealand is because we had such an amazing time with her, and it was really special because we did get that quality time with her every single day, and that's not reality. That's not what everyday life is about. She has her own life in New Zealand. She's busy, she's got friends, she's retired now, but she she has a really busy, fulfilled life. My brother lives there. She's got grandchildren in New Zealand. She has a busy life and a happy life in New Zealand, and we have an amazing life in Germany. And it wouldn't be like it was during those 9 weeks if we lived in New Zealand. We wouldn't have that full-on attention and all of that. It just wouldn't be like that. I don't regret my decision because I love my life. I love my children, how they are right now. They're only who they are because of all of the incredible experiences they've had so far. And I wouldn't want to change any of it. It's always so hard when you are married to somebody or in a relationship with somebody from a different country and a different culture. No matter what, somebody is going to be heartbroken. You're going to have to choose to live somewhere. We happen to choose Germany, and it hasn't always been easy, but when I look back, oh my goodness, our life has been amazing. And Mum has the opportunity to visit us in Germany and stay for an extended period of time and really, experience the culture here and see, me thriving in this environment and speaking another language. And there are so many positives to the situation, so many positives. And the only thing is, we miss each other. Of course we do, but we're able to talk. I can just pick up my phone now and call her. She's probably asleep actually, but I mean, technically I can just call Mum and talk to her. And so, we will be seeing each other again. I don't know when it will be, but, we're aiming to get back to New Zealand and spend some quality time in New Zealand. Financially, it's very difficult, to travel to New Zealand. There's 5 of us, but we're working on it, and Mum will be back and everything's going to be okay. Like, everything's going to be fine. And I do not regret moving to Germany. I don't. It's been a very complicated path, but I don't regret it. The reason we're so upset is because of the joy we've experienced. If we didn't experience this joy, then we wouldn't have this pain. I didn't even know what I wanted to say in this video, but I hope in some way it's comforting for other expats to know that you're not alone. I feel your pain. It's devastating. I've been in contact with a lot of my expat friends lately since Mum's, been gone, and everyone understands what I'm going through. They all understand deeply what I'm going through. Not all of them have family living as far away as I do. New Zealand couldn't be further away from Germany, but they understand that pain and that feeling of being just so torn, feeling so torn. I'm already feeling so much stronger just by talking about this. So I want to thank you so much for listening and just for letting me pour my heart out to you all. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.